Happy Self Love Sunday. Do you ever feel like you spent your whole life uh, being there for everyone? You're still waking up feeling, a little lost and empty, disconnected, like something is just missing. Maybe you reached a point in your life where you've accomplished so much, but still wonder who am I really? And where am I headed? And if this resonates with you, if this part resonates with you, I want you to stick with me today because we're going to talk about redefining your self identity and stepping into a life you've truly meant to live. And I just want to welcome you. My name is Tarnisha Mosas. I am the host of Self Love Sundays with Sass. I'm your certified vision and strategist coach who comes every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which we can better your best. And I've been there. I know what it's like to wake up one day and feel like the version of you, like I've been living isn't who I'm supposed to be anymore. Like for years, I was showing up as, the devoted mom. I'm always there at every single event for my kids. I've been in my job in corporate America for 28 years, in management, showing up for everybody there, the friend that gets on planes, trains, and automobiles to show up for everyone and everything. But somewhere along the way, I felt like I lost me. Can you relate to that? Like somewhere along the way, it just felt like I lost me. And I also think, here's the thing, really, by the time we hit 40, studies actually show that most women feel kind of stuck in their routines, unhappy about their roles and responsibilities. They didn't really consciously choose. It was more of this is the things that I'm supposed to do. This is how I'm supposed to be. This is the way it is. But it's not something that they consciously choose. So a study from Forbes that Forbes actually did found that 65% of women over 40 feel unfulfilled in their personal and professional lives, right? And it's usually and or, because 9 times out of 10, if they're having a great professional life, it's somewhere along the line where they're kind of overcompensating and they feel unfulfilled in their personal lives, or vice versa, right? But let me tell you something powerful, really powerful, okay? The moment you decide, and it is a decision, to rewrite your identity, everything can change. It is a choice. And it's really the power of choice. And so you may think, why do I feel this way? Because the truth of the matter is you're not stuck. You've just outgrown the identity you've been living in. Sometimes you wake up and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of being in the same job, doing the same things over and over again. Your kids are growing older, so the things that you used to do don't matter anymore. You don't quite know where you fit. You don't know where you fit with your partner. You don't quite know where you fit with your friends, because every life is happening to and for and like lifing all over the place for everybody, right? But the truth is, you've just outgrown the identity you've been living in, right? So think about it. The person you were at 20 or 30, isn't who you are now. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing, because we should have grown from where we were, right? We've learned some very valuable lessons. The problem is we don't always take the time to consciously redefine ourselves as we grow. So we go along to get along, right? People pleasing all over the place. And then we're so unfulfilled. We're in places and spaces and around people feeling like, I'm in a room full of people, yet I feel alone, right? That's because you haven't taken the time to constantly redefine yourself. And instead, we say in this, what I call the survival mode, right? That's what doing what I have to do, going along to get along. I have to do this. I have to do that, as if there is no choice, right? Just doing what it does to do to maybe, put food on the table or get the kids just shuffling around. It's just constantly in survival. There's no system set up. There's no process, right? And so therefore you may be making some progress, but you don't feel that way, filling up everyone's cup while yours runs on empty. And it's time to change that. It really is time to change that. So your identity is more than just your job title, your family role, and what society expects of you. And you may have heard this before, because a lot of times when I'm having this conversation, I hear people say, I know. I want you to stop right now. And I want you to even put this in the comments. Knowing is doing. Knowing is doing. So if you're not doing it, you don't know it. Knowing is doing. Okay, and it's who you are at your core. The beliefs you hold. I'm sorry, you hold about yourself, the values you live by, and the vision you have for your future. Your identity, again, is who you are at your core, the beliefs you hold about yourself, the values you live by, and the vision you have for your future. What is the vision you have for your future? Redefining your identity means shedding the labels and limitations that no longer serve you. It's the labels that may have been given to you versus how you saw yourself, right? And so you have to get rid of and shed anything that no longer serves who you are in this season of your life so you can step into the version where you can truly like thrive. And by thriving, that means that we're not just going along to get along, we're living with intention. Okay. So here, like, so how do you redefine, I'm sorry, your self identity? I know I hear the question, right? All right. Number one, you have to reflect on your current identity. It's not about just moving past where you are, it's about understanding where you are. So ask yourself this question, right? I want you to write this down. Who have I been showing up as? What labels, roles, beliefs have defined me up until now? Because in order to be present, you have to know where you've been in your past. So we don't go back to the past to harp, to him and ha, to be ashamed, to be depressed about where we were. No, we look back so that we can understand where we were, what we loved, what we didn't like, so we know where to pivot, right? What to leave behind, where to get present to, so that we can go into the future. Okay. So the reason why we're not liking where we are now is because we're still either stuck in the past or we're so far in the future that we're not present to where we are. Okay. So I want you to ask yourself, who have I been showing up as? Okay. What labels, like I said, roles or beliefs have defined you up until now? Which one feel like, oh, this is a great one. Which ones feel authentic to who you are now? And which ones are holding you back? Maybe you've been the overachiever. Overachievers, raise your hand. Over, like I'm looking up, I'm gonna look away. Overachievers, raise your hand. Maybe the overachiever who never says no, never realizing that the way to your future self, the one that you desire to be, all of it lies in the no. Because in order to get to being present, so that you can get to the next level of wherever you desire to be, it lies in the no. It's the things that you are saying no to that's going to help you to get present to you. You can't run around, be there for everyone and everything, and then expect to be where you desire to be. Okay. And maybe or the caregiver, oh, the caregiver who puts everyone first. I want you to write it all down. And I don't want you to judge it. It's not about good or bad. It's just reflection. Because again, we're looking at where we've been, what we've done, so we can get aligned to where we are presently so that we can shift, pivot, right? And redefine some things so we can change where we're going. So, so the first step is reflect on your current identity, right? The second step is I want you to envision your future self. This is one of my favorite. I'm a vision strategist coach. Everything that I teach and do is about vision. So I want you to really get comfortable right now, and I want you to close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And I want you to think about the woman or man that you want to become. How do you carry yourself? What is it that you believe about yourself? What do you no longer tolerate? What have you been tolerating that you no longer tolerate? I want you to paint a vivid picture in your mind. I want you to see yourself walking through your day to day, right? This step is a game changer. Walk yourself through. How do you get up in the morning? How do you feel? What do you look like? What are you doing? Who's surrounding you? Who's talking to you? What are you listening to? Right? See your entire day as the person you desire to be. Right? This is a true game changer. I started envisioning myself as the bold, confident, unapologetic leader that I am today. And I leaned into that vision every single day. It was what I did every single day. It was the small things. I want you to hear that in this. It was the small things that I did every single day, the habits that I changed, the books that I started to read, that helped me step into this version of who I am today. If you go back and listen to me, I think I've been doing YouTube now since 2017, and I'm looking to grow my channel. So please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. And I sound different. I've grown a little bit older, so I do look a little bit different. Hopefully, not be easy on the looks, okay? And I've grown. And it's because I had to see myself as the version I am. I had to see myself as the entrepreneur that I am today, the coach that I am today, the accountability coach that leads my calls every single morning. I had to see myself doing it on my own because I used to do it for a 7-figure entrepreneur. I ran his accountability calls, and I had to see myself stepping out so I can be who I am today, right? And so I also want you. So now we said step 1 was reflecting on your current identity. Step 2 was envisioning your future self. Step 3 is create your identity statement. And listen, I am one that believes in having a personal statement. You can call it a mission statement, mantra, a declaration of who you are becoming. I'm not so hung up on words as most people am, but I want you to create it, right? So mine is, I am a wealthy, bold leader. I'm a wealthy, bold leader. That's what works for me, right? I'm a wealthy, bold leader. Why? Because I want to create wealth. Why? Because I want to step out boldly. Why? Because I am a leader. Okay. And so and it's the truth, people use this analogy, fake it till you make it. Okay. So if you have to do that and stand in the mirror and tell yourself that every single day, I'm a bold, fearless, and unstoppable woman. I'm a bold, fearless, and unstoppable man. Whatever that is, I'm a wealthy, healthy, and integrous leader. That was a statement I had before. And in each season of your life, your statement changes. That's why if you followed me for a while, you've heard this from me. Why am I telling you to do it again? Because we should be outgrowing, right? Leveling up from our old statements. In different seasons of your life, you're going to need different things. Okay. I started my year off being, grieving. I lost my cousin, right? So in this season of my life after this loss, it's changed some things about me. And loss does that for me. Grief does different things for people. This is what it's done, for me, because I realized some things about that. And you can go back and watch my videos for the first 2 Sundays of the year to get, what I meant about that. But, these statements are the very things that help me. Okay. So when you envision your future self, I didn't state that here, but I do have a vision board that I created with my future self as I'm about to walk into chapter 50 this year. Right. There's some things that I want to do. There's some things I want to understand. And I understand also that old ways won't open new doors. So that's why we're going to redefine, give ourselves a new identity statement for this season of your life. The key is to use strong, empowering words, no more than 3. The statement doesn't need to be like, like 1,000 words. That's the problem. That's my overthinkers. I want it short. I want it straight. I am a wealthy, bold leader. I am a bold, fearless, unstoppable man or woman. I am courageous, fearless, and bold. Whatever that is, 3 words that are powerful, and make that statement and put it everywhere you go. The other thing is out of sight, out of mind, right? Why hasn't it worked for you in the past? One, you don't keep reminding yourself. And the key to change is every time the negative thought comes, because they're going to come. This is not about wishful thinking that nothing is ever going to come. No, it happens, but it's to catch yourself in the moment and to tell yourself who you really are. Because what's playing in your mind is the old tapes, the old things that people said about you, the old paradigm, the old beliefs, right? And so the way to get to fulfillment is when that happens, you have to remind yourself of who you are. I'm tired of people not feeling fulfilled in their lives and feeling like they just have to live. I don't want you to leave here. I don't want you to live like the Walking Dead. You can be or do whatever you desire, but you have to make a conscious decision to know that it is a choice, and you have to choose it every single moment of the day. It's not just doing this one time and putting it away. No, it's making a conscious choice every single moment. I make a conscious choice every single moment to say how I'm going to show up, how I'm going to lead, what I'm going to tell you, because I want you to understand that it's not that it's so much easier for someone like me. It's the practice, it's the habits that I build every single day. I don't allow myself excuses. I don't allow myself that stuff. It's like my motto is either you have excuses or results, which was a quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that I live by. So many people say, just sit around and be like, well, this is just the way I am. No, you have a choice to be something different, but you have to choose it in this moment. And so this is why I want to tell you now why redefining matters. When you rewrite your identity, you reclaim your power. You've given it away when you say this is just the way I am. When you say this is just the way I have to operate. This is just the way I have to be. I have to live in this certain system. I have to do it this way. You're locking yourself in and you're giving your power away. You can do anything. Is it going to take time? Yes. Yes. But you can do it. You no longer living by default because that's what that is, waiting for life to happen to you. The richest place on the earth is the graveyard. My cousin, who I love to death, left with a book in her. I know she was an author. I'm begging you today, and I don't say this often, to step into your purpose. Don't leave here with things unsaid, undone, and feeling unfulfilled. Instead, you become intentional about how you show up and what you create. The shift will impact every area of your life, from your relationships. Who are you around? What is your environment? Your environment shapes you. So if you're waking up and I'm stressed and you don't feel blessed and you don't feel like you're have joy in your life, because happiness is fleeting, it's up and down, we are emotional roller coasters, but you still should be feeling joy and peace. If you're not experiencing joy and peace, the question I have for you is, what in your environment is creating that? And what can you build to do it? I'm not going to lie to anybody. Am I happy that the fact that my job decided that we have to return to office after working from home for 18 years and I have to drive an hour and 20 minutes? Absolutely not. But I decided, until I can retire, right? Because we can't retire before the age of 50. And I've been there 28 years. I'm leaving there with something, okay? I've decided that I'm going to use my car rides, my morning rides are my inspirational pickup, right? My ride home is my decompress time, right? And so whether that means me listening to books, I don't listen to the radio. Whether it means me listening to audible books or something powerful for YouTube, or me even thinking about content that I want to create, I decided that's what that time is going to be. You can decide it. So although you may be unhappy in the situation you're in until you can get to the next situation, how can we start to shift the thought, shift the perspective? Because it is perspective. It is perspective, because to some people, they're like, well, how could you feel that way? You have a job to drive to that pays you well. Right. And here's the other thing. If you want to use it, and here, I am one that I'm using my 9 to 5 to help fund and build my business until it gets to the point where I can retire and go into my own business. It's perspective. You can look at it like that. You can look at it and say, my 9 to 5 is my first real investor into my new business. And that's how I'm going to look at it. And that's what I'm going to do. But it's totally up to you. I know this might feel uncomfortable at first. Redefining who you are takes courage and belief and faith. A lot of people walk around here, especially listen, let me give my disclaimer. I'm not here to tell you who you believe in. I'm here to tell you that having a firm foundation of faith in whoever you decide to call God is the leverage to everything in your life. But a lot of times people walk around and it's like, oh, I believe in God, I have faith. But you don't believe in who he made you to be. You don't believe in where you can be, where you can move to currently. You don't believe that you can experience joy. You believe that you can be stressed out and just all over the map, unsteady, just like no real direction. That's a lie. And I'm gonna call you out on it. If you have faith and believe in God, why don't you have faith and belief in who he called you to be? And start to step and lean into that. And I know it's easier to lean into the negative parts because our mind is negative. However, and you can do this, because I know it's uncomfortable stepping out of the familiar, getting out of the comfort zone of the negative world and the people who you may be surrounding yourself. And I'm not saying you're surrounding yourself with all negative people, because I don't. I have some great people in my network. That doesn't mean I don't experience hard times. Doesn't mean I don't experience, being uncomfortable and unfulfilled and hurt and waking up like, man, why am I doing this? What is it all for? Absolutely not. But the difference maker is I can call on one of them and they can help walk me through it, not try to totally push me out of my feelings, but walk me through why I feel this way, give me encouragement and help me get back to the joy. That's the difference maker. But I have to ask you, what is the cost of staying where you are? How much longer can you afford to live a life that doesn't light you up, that you're not fulfilled in, that you're not designing, that you're crying about, that you're depressed about, that you're sad about. You deserve more than just to exist and just to be a mom or just to be a dad. I hear so many, I'm pouring so much into my children. I believe that's a wonderful thing because they are the future. And God is not done with you yet. So are you pouring into you? I love my children. I tell you, let me say something now. I worship the ground these little things walk on. And I pour into me because I understand that God is not done with me yet. God is not done with you yet. Is the book that you're supposed to write done? Is the business that you're supposed to build? Are you building it? And not worried or stressed about how it looks in the current moment. I know I get there too. But then I have to remind myself, if he gave me the vision, hello, he's going to help me get there. He's going to bring the right people in. And you have to know that for yourself too. Maybe this video is your reminder, your sign for you to get back to it. And I'm grieving too. But I just decided that when my family members leave this earth, I put them on my back as another way to move forward, to build, to create. I won't let it go to the grave. And my question for you is, will you let your dreams, your hopes, your book, your business, your career, maybe you wanted to be a director or VP in your job, don't give up on that because of the way the company is shifting. You can still do it. You can decide. It's a choice. Just know that you deserve it though. And you deserve to feel proud of the person you're becoming. I'm not telling you it's easy. I'm saying it's going to be worth it. And to know that every single day you're moving closer to the life you designed for yourself. So I'm getting ready to end this video, but this week I want to challenge you to start redefining your identity. Remember, we talked about writing your current identity, envisioning yourself in the future. Who do you really want to become? I want you to envision it, but put the feelings and the emotions and see yourself doing it every single day. Create your personal identity statement. Have it everywhere you go. You're on your phone anyway, scrolling everywhere. Put it as your tagline in your on your Instagram if you have it, your Facebook, YouTube. Put it in your phone. Put it on your desk. Put it on your mirror. If you only could see my mirror, I have all these statements written on my mirror. Get in front of the mirror and tell yourself who you are every day. You brush your teeth every day. Look up in the mirror. Don't just look down. Look up in the mirror. Say it in your mind. See it in your mind. Then after you finish brushing your teeth, say it out loud. Okay? Listen, I want you to share your statements in the comment below. I want to know. I want to support you as you support me. And also, if you're ready to go deeper, you can grab a copy of my book, Designed to Win, The Pathway for Success for Tomorrow's Empowered Professional Woman. Listen, it's so interesting, right? And I did write it, to women. However, I love the support of my men who bought the book and actually was like, listen, I'm taking this from it. Okay. So yes, I invite you to purchase the book for yourself, purchase it for your wife, purchase it for your daughter, your niece. You know, the best thing you could ever do is put knowledge in someone's hand. And that book is not just about knowledge, it's actually a step-by-step process. In all 2025, I'm going to be coming here talking to you about designing your life to win, because you can design your life the way you desire it. I know it doesn't seem that way. You hear me talking now, but you didn't listen. My start was a welfare mother, 322 a month welfare mom. I went from welfare to winning, and you can too. No one gave me a handout. I didn't have somebody in my family giving me money. That's not, and I want to be clear though, I didn't build this alone. Okay. It was the people that once I made a decision, God sent in my life to help me along the way with knowledge, with wisdom, with support, right? Me being an accountability coach in the 7-figure entrepreneurs, in his company, right? Watching him, the way he was able to structure things. I picked up the things I loved, the things that I didn't love, and I built my own. I built my own table, and you can do it too. Okay. So listen, that book is packed with exercises and strategies to help you take control of your life so you can become the top 1% in your personal and professional life. Okay. And the link is going to be down in the subscription in the description. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue on this journey together. Please share. I really want to grow my channel this year in 2025. I'm like literally, want to get to minimum. Come on, guys, let me help me get to like 10K this year. And I will hope to see you next Sunday for another empowering episode of Self Love Sunday with Sass. Until then, remember, you are worthy, you are capable, and you are designed to win. I love you guys. Talk to you next week.